Texellent Heating and Cooling. Custom air service is our specialty. Heating and cooling and indoor air quality. Let's talk heating and cooling with your specialist, Terry McWilliams and Mike Landry.
All right, guys, welcome back to a new episode of Texellent Heating and Cooling podcast series. We're going to be covering system replacement today. So you're thinking about upgrading your air conditioning system or replacing the one that you've got. We're going to be talking with Terry McWilliams today. Terry, what's happening?
Hey.
All right, so when we're digging into the system replacements, there's a lot of options out there. Lennox, Trane, Carrier, Armstrong. There's all kinds of different systems that you can install in your home. And you're one of the leading guys when it comes to indoor air quality that I know, and you advocate for Armstrong systems. Can you tell me why you're so passionate about that?
Yeah, so we have an extensive history with Lennox and the Lennox brand, and ultimately, I mean, the people who know in the industry, there's only a few true manufacturers, the big kings of the trade, and they own all the other little subsidiary brands. Armstrong Air, their whole motto is the professional's choice. Now, they're owned by Allied, which is owned by Lennox International. So we get to use the benefits of the great technology that Lennox has put out without the big Lennox price point that Lennoxes are sold for. So we get the best of both worlds, which we get to pass those savings along to the customer and also get to use the product that we know and trust and have trusted for many, many years.
Now, homeowners faced with all these new advanced technologies that are out there. There's a lot more options than just the standard single stage system they had back in the day. So what do you recommend that they install today?
So when looking at installing a system in your home, we are definitely non-traditional. Many companies will come out and just give you a good, better, best and look at your current system. That's the size you're going to get and everything. So we start out with evaluating your home, the duct system in your home, your current system. We do look at the current size, but that's not like what we're going to base it off of. We'll do a load calc first, find out exactly what your home in 2024, not in 1970, whenever it was built.
Right.
And then you've renovated it and everything. We look at all those different things and determine what size system that you need for your house, because we don't want you to have an oversized system where you're not controlling your humidity properly. We don't want you to have an oversized system where you're paying more for energy ridiculously. And we want to make sure that this system promotes the best level of comfort in your house after we put it in.
Right. And the reason he brought that up is because a lot of these companies will just run up in your attic and see you got a 3-ton, they're going to replace it with a 3-ton. That may not be the answer. Depending, your conditions could have changed. You just won't be aware of it.
Correct. Yeah, that's why it's important to have someone who understands indoor air quality, proper sizing, duct design, system design, actually come into your home and evaluate it properly to give you the best solutions. And even whenever it comes to systems and the different technologies that are available today, they're not all made for every application. If you've got, an older home, which nothing wrong with older homes, I think they have really great bones. They just breathe differently. We look at the envelope of the home a lot of the times when sizing these things. And sometimes if you have an older home and it's very leaky and, you haven't done yet maybe some of the things to seal that up and help with that infiltration. Well, I mean, if you've taken, XYZ companies, good, better, best, and go with their best, thinking that you're going to do the best thing for your home, it may actually make it worse if you put, an inverter type system in there and you get down to those low capacities and now you're, having a much larger humidity issue than you ever experienced before. So we're not just in it to sell you the most expensive, biggest air conditioner we can find just to make the most money and get out. We want to find what's going to suit your application best. Our whole thing is custom air service, customized.
And that the technology will work in the current home that you're living in under the current circumstances.
Right, exactly.
That's very important. Just because it costs more don't mean it's going to work better is exactly what he's saying. Okay, so what about thermostat technology? Do you recommend changing the thermostat when you replace the system?
Absolutely. If we're putting in new equipment, that thermostat is what is sending the signals, for lack of a better term, to all of your equipment to do what it needs to do. So we don't know the history of that thermostat. We don't know where it came from. In order to ensure the best reliability of our new equipment, we always like to put a new control on there. We do have multiple types of controls that we can go with. We can go with basic controls, simple Wi-Fi controls, more advanced Wi-Fi controls, smart controls, and even proprietary communicating controls. So we go over all of those options with you more in detail to see what's going to suit you best for the equipment that has been chosen, and also the features that you're looking for.
Now, there's a thermostat that you don't suggest.
Yeah.
That the energy companies push.
Yes. So we do not endorse or sell or install any Nest branded products. Might catch some heat for that one since I've called them out, but it is what it is. Armstrong has come out too and said they do not want them installed on their systems, which we were already kind of behind that before they even came out with that. But we prefer, Honeywell or Emerson White Rogers controls. They're controls companies that have been making controls for decades. They know what they're doing. They're reliable, and we can trust them on our equipment. The other ones
the most important thing is
we just have experienced a lot of issues with them service-wise.
Well, and the main thing is that the manufacturers that produce the air conditioning equipment only support the ones that they approve to interact with and control their systems.
Correct. And
right?
Armstrong's not the only one who has come out and said they don't want it installed with their equipment. And I won't get into the politicals of all that stuff, but it's just not something that we, endorse.
Right. Well, it makes sense. I mean, how long should people expect these systems to last from once they get their new system installed, properly sized?
Yeah. So with good service and maintenance, of course, that's where it starts, because it's not just you have it installed and can treat it any kind of way and then it lasts forever. With good maintenance, you can expect probably 10 to 15 years, I think, is our average now. And, decades ago, that would have been probably about double. But with everything changing as far as, technology and the way things are manufactured and the processes and the refrigerants used, that has, reduced. And I've seen life expectancies go down quite a bit, too, without maintenance and upkeep. Door systems, fail tremendously, within the first, 5, maybe even 10 years.
Yeah, so maintenance is basically checking on the system every 6 months.
Having a certified professional come out, going through the system with a fine-tooth comb, evaluating it, checking all the correct parameters and parts, and make sure there are no red flags. And when we commission a system, we've got a good baseline too. So when we're coming out every year or twice a year and checking the system, we check it against that baseline to see if anything has changed, and if so, we want to get ahead of it so that we can, help prevent, something from going out.
Now, there's some enhancement technologies to improve indoor air quality performance that we're going to do in another episode. So if you're thinking about replacing your system, I want you to check that out too. Terry, thanks for your time. If you guys need to give us a call, it's 281-402-5100, 281-402-5100. You can find them online at texellentacservice.com, texellentacservice.com. And just remember, our motto is custom air service, because that's what we do, custom.
Thanks for listening to the Texellent Heating and Cooling Podcast. Located in the Deer Park area, contact Texellent today at 281-402-5100 or texellentacservice.com.